Great. Welcome everybody to this webinar that you'll join to hear more about the program about agri-food, agricultural and food economics. But the right title will be surely addressed by the staff members of Università Cattolica de Sacro, Cuore, as they are with me here as well. And you just saw a brief intro video already from Cremona, and that's where the program takes place. We have the professor there as well, so he'll be joining us, and also a student. So my name is Luc Mulling. I'm just here for welcoming you, and later for the questions. So going over to those questions, you can write them at any time through the panel called questions at the right bottom. So I saw already some people, by the way, chatted where they're logged in from, so that's great to see. But please do write your questions at any time in the panel called questions. I will also be opening up a couple of polling questions for you, so to get to know you a little bit better. I'm actually going to open one right now. So just to know a little bit more about your preferences, and in this case, what is the most important to you in selecting a university program. And we have a couple more options. There will be links displayed as well under apps. And last but not least, at the bottom of the screen, you see a button called React. And there you can click and interact with us. That way we make it a little bit more fun and interactive. Exactly. So without further ado, let's go over to the presenters of today. We go over to Julia, and she'll introduce herself and the agenda and the speakers. So good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you, Luc. You're getting better and better at saying Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore, which is a very, very long name, a complicated one. But welcome, everybody, from Julia and actually Professor Paolo Scocai and Paola Maggi. I'm going to share who they are later. But today we're going to be together for roughly an hour, and I wanted to briefly introduce who we will be together with and what we are going to talk about. So I would say, first of all, who are we with? Professor Paolo Scocai, director of the program, the Masters in Agricultural and Food Economics, and Paola. Paola is a current student in her second year of studies, so she's gonna tell us about her experience and what she's doing and how she's enjoying the program. So, what are we doing today with them? Well, before going to the interview part, which is my favorite part actually, we are going to go over who we are as a university. So you might know about us, you might not. So it really depends on how deep you are in your process of searching for a university. So it's a little reminder of who we are, and then why you should study agriculture here in Italy and in Università Cattolica particularly. Then we are going to go with the juicy part, the interview part, with Professor Scocai and the student, so Paola as well. We're also going to go over a little bit of information about our admission procedures, timeline, deadlines, and entry requirements. So don't worry about that, it is coming. And at the end, we're going to have space for a couple of minutes of your questions. We are going to answer to most of them, fortunately. And then, well, I think we can go over to the first part of our webinar, which is going to be why you should study in Italy. I mean, Italy is a very nice place, and we all know that. But apart from being a very nice place, there are some reasons why I think we are very good at what we do, specifically in the agriculture sector. So we are very famous for our wines, our food in general, our made in Italy products, which span from food like Parmigiano Reggiano to luxury jewels, Ferraris, and stuff like that. So we are usually, most people don't know, but Italians and Italy as a country, we are very good at producing. So everything that goes from transforming the raw materials into something really, really good, that's what we're good at doing in Italy. So I think this goes unnoticed most of the time, but it is very important. Also, it helps to have a very various and nice landscape, a very welcoming culture, and also we have a very nice healthcare system right now, one of the best in the world. So you are, as a student, if you come from a different country, you will be taken care of anyways. So, and that's definitely another excellence of our country, which we are not going to talk about in depth today. We're going to focus on the, I would say, first three aspects that I mentioned. So this is a very, very brief introduction of why Italy is very good at doing what we do, and why you should study, particularly agriculture in Italy. But then, why you should study agriculture in general is in this other slide. So of course, there are a lot of challenges that we'll have to go through, and we're going to talk it through with Professor Skokaye. Definitely something to keep in mind is food security, because there are going to be more people to feed with a very difficult landscape regarding environmental change, regarding the impact of this environmental change in resource use, and also economic pressures, because there's going to be a difficulty in having to raise the prices to maintain the quality of the food we're producing with all this instability. This is definitely a very easy and not from someone who comes from this specific sector explanation of why, but we are also going to talk it through later on. But why you should study this in Italy? Because of our tradition, as I said, we have a lot of expertise, and we are very good at innovating as well in this particular field. We have very very good researchers. Our professors are an particular example of this. They do a lot of research. They invest in R&D, and our actually there's a big food industry in Italy which invests in R&D so that they can get better and better at producing and taking care of the environment at the same time. Uh, so the technologies that we're gonna have to put in place, they are studied together with the universities and the university environment and the very big and very important agri-food industry that we have in this country. So I think this is basically like the bottom line of why Italy is one of the best countries to study this particular matter in in this particular period of time. I would say we have gotten better and better. So it's definitely something that you have to keep in mind when you consider whether to choose Italy or any other country to study this. Um, so um, I talked about why you should study in Italy, why you should study agriculture in Italy, and why we are very good at teaching you about that. But where should you study? Because we have a lot of universities, so there is definitely a big range of choices. Well, I'm going to talk about us a little bit, us being Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore. As I said, we are a pretty big university, founded in 1921. It is the largest known state university in Europe, meaning we are private. Uh, but also it means that we have a lot of students, we have a lot of faculties, we have developed in the years, we have developed more than 50 English taught programs. We've had a number of students who has been increasing, particularly among international students. It's growing year on year. So this number you see here, 4,800 plus international students, it's going to be increasing in the next years as well. So yeah, basically it's a very, very big university. We have 5 campuses actually, but the master's degree that we're talking about today is taught in Cremona, where, well, you see in my background, this is the main campus in Cremona. It's a totally renovated monastery where everything is pretty brand new. So it's very nice. Actually, I visited it a couple of months ago and I was very impressed. And actually, Professors Kokai and Paola are both talking from the Cremona campus today as well. What else should I say? Actually, I don't think there's a lot more to say because I really want to get into the interview part with Professor Skokai. So, well, first of all, Professor, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, of course. I'm very glad to be here. And thanks for all of you connecting from far away. My name is Paolo Scoccai. I'm professor of agriculture and food economics here in Cremona and in general in Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore. And my experience of teacher and researcher is especially on the economics and policy of the agriculture and food sector. And I'm the director of the program since 2020, so 5 years ago. And I'm very proud and very happy of being director of this course because it is somehow a niche course, but it is very special, I think, and I hope we are able to give you this feeling as long as we go on with the webinar. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Professor. Yes, what we would like to do during this session is to let you guys know something that you may not find on our website. So that's why we chose to go with the interview. And I'm going to go with the first question, actually. Professor Skokai, how would you describe the master's degree in agriculture and food economics in just a few words?
Well, if I had to say just a few words, I would say that this is the master of the food supply chain. So we focus our studies on the whole supply chain for producing food, which means from agriculture to food processing, food retailing, as well as consumers. We are all food consumers, of course. And we focus on the management issues of companies in the food chain, and we focus on the regulation of the food chain, which means policies and mechanisms that regulate the whole food chain from the agricultural sector to the food processing sector as well. So these are all issues that we face with particular care and that we try to in which we try to involve our students as much as possible.
Yep, very well explained in just a few words. There's going to be 1,000 more, but we just focus on
of course.
So another question. So we were talking, actually, I was talking a bit as a known expert in the subject, but I wanted to ask you who you are, definitely a more expert person to ask. So the world of agriculture is changing fast. So there's going to be climate change. There's going to be a very big technology shift. There's sustainability that we have to have in mind every day as you guys approach these issues. So how does this program prepare students to make sense of it all?
Well, I think that the main the message we try to send us is that we need an holistic view of the supply chain. So we need to be able to understand all the mechanisms and the dynamics of the food supply chains. And we need to, have a sort of way of thinking that I call the evidence-based way of thinking. So we teach students to look at data. Data reveal what's behind the economic phenomena, and using data, you can, draw conclusion about the functioning of the supply chain on one side, and about the need in terms of technological innovation or policy mechanisms that can improve the situation of the food supply chain. Of course, we try also to maintain a sort of international and world view of these problems, because we all know that analyzing the problem of the supply chain, the food supply chain in Europe or in the US is totally different than analyzing this problem in India or in Africa. And we try to maintain this kind of broad and international view of the problems that we have in this specific sector.
That is very nice to hear, and I think it is absolutely it's absolutely important that we have to keep in mind how different the countries are, how different the production method and actually the supply chain method is around the globe. So definitely nice to hear that we do take it into account when we study these subjects in Cattolica. So. If you had to name one thing that makes this program truly stand out from others in Europe, what would it be?
Well, you said already that having this program in Italy is already, in my opinion, a value added, because of the type of country that Italy is in terms of agricultural and food production. But at the same time, I think that is not just a matter of the country, it's also how we have designed the program. I think that compared to other programs, we are also, working together, because we are in a network of programs of this type. Our attempt is to try to, let's say, finding a balance between, management and innovation background and preparation, as well as economics and policy preparation. So our students have a sort of mix of this background, and no matter what they do after graduation, we feel that their employer really appreciate this sort of mixed background, in which we have both the management side and the economics and policy side, rather than specializing in one of the two, which is, the trend, let's say, in our twin programs around Europe, for example.
Yeah, it's definitely a one of a kind, and also the network that you have is amazing. We do have some information on the website about the network that this program in particular has, which is really impressive. So you guys need to go check it out later on. But just suppose I'm a student and I'm sitting in one of your lectures. What would surprise me the most?
Well, this is not an easy question, but I would say that what would surprise you is the feeling among the group of students. So we have a rather small number of students every year. I'm talking about 30 to 40 students every year. And since we teach our own subject with possibly very interactive way. So we involve students in many activities: presentation, group work, business games, computer application, and so on. So students learn to work together, and they create a very strong group. So I think that entering in a classroom, you feel that students are strongly linked to each other, they help each other, they learn together, and they maintain this linkage even after graduation. So they create a network that is somehow, in my opinion, a strong point of our program, because we keep strong linkages with our graduates wherever they are. And believe me, they are all around the world, so everywhere.
That definitely shows the importance of studying these subjects, because you don't really go anywhere unless anywhere in the world needs you. And then definitely the network, I think it is the most important part of any program that you would have to consider. If it doesn't give you good network, it's not worth it. So absolutely. Thank you very much, Professor. And so I have a question regarding the internationality of students and like the backgrounds of the students, because many students come from very different academic backgrounds and also many different countries. So how do you make sure they all find their footing, especially with the more quantitative parts? Because when you study agriculture, you don't think you have to go with a lot of quantitative numbers and quantitative subjects, but surprised you do have to do it.
Yeah,
so
you are right. Yeah, you're right. Sometimes students don't think that they need this quantitative background, but our experience is actually that the more you are involved in professions that require, evidence-based decision, you need to learn how to use data and information, how to organize it, and how to draw messages from data. That's why we propose part of our program as quantitative training. What we do is to try to in the first semester of the program, we try to support students that have different background. We start from a rather initial stages of each subject, such that students get somehow gradually used to the new things they've never seen before. And we also encourage a lot group work, such that the smartest students that maybe have a stronger background in this kind of subject can help the others to reach the same level, such that, for example, already in the second semester we can offer more complex subjects in which all students have the right background to attend and no problem anymore. So our first semester is targeted to make the background as homogeneous as possible.
That is great to hear. Absolutely, it is something, coming from very different backgrounds. You wonder as a student how, if I studied something completely different than my my classmates right next to me, how am I gonna make it sense? But yeah, it helps students to know that you provide this kind of gradual exposure, and they actually learn from each other a lot. So thank you very much again. And I have another question that is more less related to the course itself, but more about the perception. So what's one common misconception people have about agricultural economics, and how do students usually change their minds when they attend this kind of program?
Well, probably the most important misconception that people has is that agricultural economics is just about tractors and everything that takes place on the field. This is definitely not true, because studying agricultural economics means, as I said already, studying in a holistic way the whole supply chain, from companies producing inputs from agriculture that are sometimes very big companies like seed companies, chemical companies, and so on, and then going down to agricultural food processors, food retailers. Retailers are playing a very big role in the food supply chain now, but also service companies like consultancy companies that deal with issues like sustainability or environmental care and so on, certification, as well as logistics. I mean, logistics is crucial for the agri-food system. Food is produced in one place and is consumed sometimes very far away from that place, and logistics is crucial for making food available to consumers in safe and good quality state. So I think that as soon as you get into this business, you change your mind immediately, and you feel that studying agricultural economics means studying, having a broad view of problems that, intersect many of the issues that are at stake also in the political debate, because food security is a very, very strong issue in many countries, and it is an issue especially in this world where, we had, in the last few years with these conflicts taking place are, creating more problems from this point of view. So I think you also feel that you are addressing issues that are, very, very important for our society. And that's also a good feeling, I believe.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you very much. So the agri-food system is a rather complex ecosystem, I would say. So how do students learn to connect data, policy, real-world decisions? So how do you make sense of it all?
Well, we try to be as concrete as possible, involving students in real-world case studies, especially because it's true. The theory tells you that you must make decision based on data, based on the knowledge of policies, the knowledge of rules and regulation, the knowledge of market trends, for example. But this is not so obvious, and so we try to propose students several opportunities for interacting with real world cases, either as part of our subjects, so our teaching, as well as through many seminars that we offer students every week with stakeholders of the food supply chain. What do I mean by stakeholders? It means managers of private companies, but it means also representative of stakeholder organization, like organization of farmers, organization of food processors, or policymakers, because policies are decided by people. And by the way, we have many of our graduates that are working in this kind of positions, and very often the seminar are from our graduates that come back to our school and share their real world experience with students.
That is very interesting. And actually, we had a webinar last year with one of our your ex-students, actually. So I think if I don't remember wrong, she was called Margherita, and she works in the European Commission for.
Exactly.
So she does this, she does that on a regular basis. So yeah, absolutely something interesting to know. Okay, so. I have two other questions that I can pass on to Paola. What kind of professional paths do graduates typically follow after completing this master's? Are there partnerships, internship opportunities that particularly enhance learning experience? We were talking about Margherita's path, but I think there's a lot more than that.
Okay, if we look at the statistics, the large majority of our graduates end up working in the private sector. Which means the food industry, the retail chains, the agrochemical companies, and all the service companies that I mentioned before. So this, I would say, makes more than 2/3 of our graduates' employment after graduation. Okay. The remaining 1/3 or slightly less is for people doing research or continuing for a PhD, for example, or people working in policy making, startups, all these kind of let's say different jobs, for which, however, our degree is actually a good starting point and a good background, because we see that having this mixed background that I mentioned before is a real value added for all this kind of position. But definitely, if you come and study our degree, you should expect to end up as a more likely job opportunity in the private sector. The large majority of our graduates go into the private sector in all the companies of the food chain. In terms of internship, we do have a large network of companies that offer internship opportunities for students, but we are also extremely cautious on, giving internship opportunity to students only if they are good opportunities, because sometimes internships are not so easy to manage, right? So what we do is offering internship opportunities, especially linked to the thesis project. So if the thesis project is, developed with a company, companies have a very strong motivation for working with the student, and so the student experience in the internship is very nice, and it is, highly appreciated. So we don't offer internship to all students, but only to selected students that develop a project that is interesting to be developed with a company. What we do, however, at the end of the program is to, putting in place a placement activity. So we have a very good placement office that helps students to, find their own path to the job market and their own, job opportunities right after graduation. So we do have both. We have internship during the program, especially linked to the thesis, and we have a job market placement activity that helps students to get into the job market after graduation.
Okay, so that is a very deep explanation of what happens in the course before and after graduating as well. Thank you very much. One last question for you, Professor Skokai. Imagine one of your students 5 years after graduation. What kind of professional or change maker do you hope they've become?
Well, this is not so difficult to answer because, as I said, we are regularly in touch with our former students, with our graduates that often come to our school for seminars and interacting with the new students. So we follow them quite closely. And I think, of course, I mean, individual skills and individual profiles are very important in all type of professional career. But clearly, I'm very happy of the diversity of our graduates. So we have graduates with very strong managerial skills that have made a very quick career in big companies, with great responsibility, with implementing new ways, innovation, innovation in methods, in managing methods, and so on. And we have, as I said before, very good graduates that work in policy making. They are actually making decisions that are important for all of us, and that are taking increasing responsibility at very different levels, national and sometimes international levels, because they have developed a very strong career in this area. So I think the diversity is the real thing that I like to see, and when I see so many diverse professional career, I'm very happy, because it means that we are, addressing the right point. So we are making people flexible and able to adapt to a changing environment, because we all know that what you study while you are in a graduate program changes very, very fast afterwards. So you must be able to adapt and to make your own contribution in a changing environment, in a constantly changing environment.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. It's always a pleasure to hear you talk about this program, and the passion you have for it is tangible, I would say. I'm happy that that this interview got a chance to highlight something that maybe you don't see on the website when you browse through. And thank you for being here with us. I think it is time for us to go Yeah, I think it's time for us to go to Paola. Thank you for listening to us up to now. So, Paola, would you mind introducing yourself, who you are, and what your background is?
Of course. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paola. I'm from Pavia, which is a small town not so far from Cremona. My university experience started with a bachelor in agricultural sciences and technologies, and I'm a current student of this master degree. I'm at the second year of agri-food economics here in Cremona.
Okay. So, Paula, the first question, a real question after this introduction that I have for you would be going back to the start. And why did you choose this program and Università Cattolica as a whole?
Okay, as I was saying, I studied my bachelor in agricultural sciences and technology in Piacenza campus of Università Cattolica. And back there, Professor Skokai was my economic professor, and I discovered this master degree thanks to him. And why did I choose this program? Basically because during my bachelor, I studied more the technical and practical aspects of the agri sector. And so I felt that focusing more on the economics of the agri-food system would have given me a more complete view of the field. And also another key driver in my choice was the fact that my bachelor was in Italian, and I definitely wanted to study in English in an international environment. And so, yes, that's the reason why I choose this program.
Thank you, Paola. So, um, was there a moment when you realized, okay, I definitely made the right choice with this program?
I don't think there was a precise moment, but rather many moments, because I realized that I made the right choice every time I feel motivated and stimulated. I don't think that feeling stimulated and motivated in a uni program is something to take for granted. But here I find the atmosphere very dynamic. I'm living in a new city, knowing new people, and I'm studying something that I enjoy. And I find the environment here really stimulating and motivating. Like it's an environment that constantly pushes you to grow and yes, to stay motivated. So yes, I think that I made the right choice.
That's nice to hear. Very, very nice to hear. So, question that I think everybody wanting to study at this program in particular would like to ask. What's your favorite class or topic so far and why?
I think it was agriculture and food policies. At the beginning, when I chose this master program, I imagined myself working in this area and policies after graduation. Now, thanks to the network that this program has, I see that there are many different career paths in the agri-food system. So right now, I'm a bit confused. I'm still exploring what I really want to do after graduation, but I still think that policy making remains one of the options that interests me the most.
Don't worry, it is absolutely normal. I think it is something related to your age as well. It doesn't really have to be only to do with what you're studying or how you're studying. It's really just your age. You'll figure out as you go. But definitely being exposed to many different topics from many different subjects, I think it is one of the best ways for you guys as students to understand what you really like. When I was in your same situation, I took a master's degree as well, and I thought I liked something, and then I ended up while taking the course, which you know talked about that particular topic, I ended up understanding that I didn't really like that thing, or maybe I liked something more. But maybe I didn't even know what it was before going into a master's degree. So it's definitely one of the points that you face. It's one of the things that you face when you start a master's degree, regardless of what you study. So even our students listening, just know it's normal. It's gonna be there, but it's gonna pass. And this particular experience, I think, really it gives you the tools to understand what you like and what you don't. It just takes time. So, Paola, uh, what's something unexpected that you've learned? Like not from books though, like from your classmates, from your professors.
Okay. I think that what I've learned from my classmates, I've learned a lot about teamwork and seeing things from different perspective. As Professor was saying, we're a small class, and it's very international. We all come from different academic and cultural backgrounds, because even Italians have very different backgrounds. And so when we work together, we often have different ways to approach problems, to work, and having so much group work really taught me to be more open-minded and flexible in working together.
This is a crucial point, I'd say. You have to learn how to work in teams anyways. Like it doesn't really matter what you study. So the most important thing that you can learn in your classroom is to work with people you don't know, people you sometimes don't even like, but you have to you have to look um, beyond what you like and what you don't like and learn to work with them. So it's absolutely something that maybe you don't expect as a master's student coming in from your first day of class, but yeah, it's definitely something really, really important. So another question is, I would say, about your typical day. So describe a typical day in your life as a student. What's your routine like?
Okay. Classes here usually start at 8:30. We have 45 minutes of class, of lecture, and then a 15 minutes break, which I find very helpful to keep the attention and concentration. So in the morning we have classes, then we have lunch all together here in the campus, that by the way is really nice and really beautiful. After in the afternoon we still have classes, and after classes I review my notes or study in the library for a while. And after uni, we joined the Power Hour, which is an initiative that we started last year with some friends. And it's a fitness class. It's a full body workout taught by one of our colleagues here in the campus, in a gym near the campus. And it's really fun, and it helps us to relax after a long day at uni. And with my colleagues, we also have a post-exam ritual. After exams, we go to a place here in Cremona to have a tramezzino, that is a typical Italian sandwich, before going back to uni to study for the next exam. And I find it really nice.
That's definitely interesting to know. Something that is not completely class related, but it is definitely part of what you do as a daily in the daily life of a student, whether you are international or domestic. I think it really doesn't make any difference, because you see, like Paola is saying, there's a lot of students and they're from different parts of the world, but they still manage to do stuff together. Actually, they do stuff together on purpose, which is very nice to hear. And they actually have fun even after class. So very happy to hear that. So Paola, another question that I have is, what skill or mindset do you feel like you've developed the most since joining the masters?
First of all, I would say organization. I've always been a quite organized person, but like here it's even more necessary because we do not have only lectures. We have group projects, we have seminars, we have company visits. So you really need to plan your time very well. And secondly, I would say that another skill I've developed during this year is confidence, because sometimes I'm a quite shy person, but the program here and the lectures, as Professor was saying, is very interactive. Professors are always encouraging participation, and my international classmates are very active during lectures. And so seeing them able to engage so easily during class helped me to do the same, and now feel more confident in speaking up and sharing my opinions even during lectures.
This is great to hear, actually. It's something that you don't expect. But yeah, regarding the organization, I think Italian university hits you hard at the beginning, but then it gives you like the mindset to understand like and to organize your life from when you start to when it ends, basically, because it gives you a lot of independence. It's something that we always say in our international oriented orientation activities. um, Sometimes when you get here, it's a culture shock that they give you like multiple options to take the exam. Oh, and then you can retake the exam if you don't like the grade. It's like, oh, that's that's a shocker. But then after a while you understand, there is a prize for that, and the prize is if you are not organized, you're not going to do anything. So it's absolutely something that you have to keep in mind, that you have to organize yourself very well, and you're going to be really, really independent. You can study when you want, how much you want, but then at the end, it's your own responsibility. And I think the Italian high school education system in general, it really teaches you independence and organization, maybe better than others. Also resilience, but that's another story. Thank you very much, Paola. And another thing that I wanted to ask is, how has this experience changed your view of the agri-food world?
Well, as I said, I studied agricultural sciences during my bachelor, so my view of the agricultural sector was mostly technical, I would say, at the beginning. But now I really see how interconnected and complex it is from an economical point of view. And I really understood how policies, especially, but also trade and nowadays the sustainability play a fundamental role in the sector. And also it made me realize that working in this field means having a real impact on society and on the environment. And so that's something that also really motivates me.
Okay, thank you very much. And last but not least, if you could talk to a prospective student right now, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that if they are curious about the agri-food system and they want to combine economics, sustainability, policies, and also the international environment and exposure, this program is the right choice for you. Be ready to work hard at the beginning because you have to study and to organize yourself a lot, but your effort will be rewarded by I think a personal growth, but also I hope a professional one. And don't be scared or don't be worried about feeling a bit lost at the beginning, because the community here it's very supportive, and you will soon feel part of it.
Thank you very much. That's encouraging to hear, I guess, for international students the most. Well, thank you very much, Paola, for for your answers, your honest feedback on this program. It's really something that we appreciate a lot. And I would say that with this, it's time for us to go to the last part of our webinar, which is how to apply, when to apply, etc., etc., etc. So admissions information that I usually give out at the end of the webinar. So we do not have applications open yet, but we are going to have them very soon. They are going to open in mid-November, so please stay in touch and go to international.unicat.it. So we are going to update the website very soon with the exact date of opening. So even if you cannot apply yet, you might know already about the entry requirements and the application deadlines as well. So first of all, about the entry requirements, it's really, I would say, straightforward with the Italian system. It is, I would say, pretty linear, that you have to have some ECTS in a particular subject related to the master's degree that you're applying to usually. So what would be the best academic backgrounds to have? The answer would be agriculture, food economics, but then also, as the program is particularly quantitative oriented, as we talked about in the previous part of the webinar, you have to have basic knowledge at least of mathematics and statistics as well. But then other than that, another very important thing is that you have to have an undergraduate degree. It seems like it's obvious, but it's not really that obvious sometimes, from an accredited institution obtained before July 31st, 2025. And also, because the program is all taught in English, this is a question that always comes up. So yes, the program is fully taught in English, so you have to have at least a B2 level required. Again, on the website, there's going to be a list of certificates that we do accept and the minimum scores that we do accept. Usually the ones that we talked about the most would be IELTS and TOEFL, but there's also Cambridge. So just go on the website, on the web page of the program itself. There's going to be a lot of information starting from the curriculum of the course that you're going to find there, and ending with what kind of language requirements we are going to have to you attain to. Then regarding the application deadline, so I said we're going to open our applications in mid-November. Sorry. And then for non-EU students, we're going to have to close applications in the start of May 2026. And the end for the end of the application period for EU students would actually be mid-June. Sorry, type of there. There's a myth, but it's going to be of course, mid-June 2026. Regarding the application process itself, it's online. All of it is online, so you have to collect all your documents and send them over to through an online application. Again, there's going to be a portal that you can find on the website as well. We usually always say that there is an interview with the faculty when it is the case, and this is the case. There is an interview with the faculty to check your motivation. And then last but not least, we talk about the tuition fees and scholarships. Remember that if you come from a partner institution, it might be a little different in terms of how much you have to pay. And also the entry requirements might be slightly different. So check whether your institution, your home institution, has any special partnership with ours. It happens more often than you think. Then the tuition fee per year would be 6,850 for EU students, students and 9,370 for non-EU students. Someone has asked about scholarships, I think, already in the questions button. We do have an international scholarship which reduces the fee to 6,400 for non-EU students. And also we do have some other scholarship opportunities administered through EduCat. So again, there's going to be a lot of information on the website. This is more like an informative session, but you definitely can contact us, and you can have a look at the website and find out more information. So I think with that, I am absolutely done with this part, and I would go to the thank you for your attention, and then to the questions. So Luke, if you want to help me with that.
Yes, indeed. So I come back in. So yes, we already received some questions from the audience. We're going to go over those. Those are from the live audience, of course, but I also know that these days a lot of people watch the recording. So if you're watching this, you can still also write your questions through the panel at the right bottom. You can also participate in the poll questions that I've been submitting, and I'll open up another one right now. And yeah, so you go ahead and do interact with us in all the ways possible. And that way, yeah, we can hear, of course, your input and feedback as well. So let's go to the questions for now from the live audience. So we received the question from Valerie. Well, I'll answer that one, which is easy. Is the session recorded? And yes, it is. So as mentioned just now, so you'll be able to watch it. By the way, I know some people joined late, so if you just stay on, you can actually restart watching it from the start. Just a little tip there. A question from Diana. How about practical knowledge? So maybe there was mentioned, but can you say something more about the practical knowledge in this program?
Professor, I would say I would
yes, I can answer that. The fact that we try to involve students in many practical cases, many real-world cases, either using some of the teaching time or using activities like seminars, company visits, and interaction with companies via case studies. For example, very often, every year at least, we have a company organizing a challenge for students, and students have to propose their solution to the challenge. So this kind of real world interaction, I think, is the way we propose for making students aware of the real world situation, and hopefully learning something on the practical knowledge side.
Great, thank you. Hope that answered that question. And another question from Innocent was asking, with my background in agribusiness management, I graduated first-class honors and a year of experience from a research assistant in Ghana. Do I stand a chance of being admitted into this program?
The answer is yes. Whenever you have an agribusiness, the answer is yes, because any agribusiness management background is something that we typically host, also from international universities. And by the way, since the students asking the question is from Ghana, we had several students from Ghana in the past. I don't remember exactly which university, honestly, but so I mean, we have a sort of channel with Ghana, and several Ghana graduates that came to our place in the last few years. So I think we have an established experience with this kind of background, and I think it is perfectly okay.
Thank you. If I may add something, Innocent, I also saw you have a question about like a fellowship support and everything. So we do have an international admissions office whose job is to evaluate your entire experience. So the only way you can know for sure is going to be applying. The professor already answered. It's there's a chance for you because of the background that you have, but also at the end of the day, our international admissions office is definitely the most competent, I would say, body in talking about whether you can get into the program or not. So the easy answer is you have to apply. You have to apply in order to understand if you get the chance to get in. But yeah, that's definitely just a support to what Professor Skokai has already said. There has been cases of students from Ghana, so absolutely, they are acquainted, I would say, with the Ghanaian background in general.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next question from Harshit was about scholarship, so that's been answered. Otherwise, let us know. Question from Sebastian.
Can I add one thing on this?
Okay, sure.
Can I add one thing on scholarships? No, okay. The scholarship situation changes over time. So in the past few years, we had additional scholarship opportunities for students beyond the regular ones that are those presented by Julia 1 minute ago. So please get in touch. If you're interested, get in touch with us. And in the next few months, in the application period 15, we will be able to provide you all the information on potentially other scholarship opportunities. Of course, we cannot guarantee them. That's why they are not on the website yet. But as soon as they are, they will be made public. So please, on the scholarship issue, you can contact us and contact the international office to get all the information that might change over time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Then we go to the next question from Sebastian. Tell me how to apply for a student visa. Can you say something about that?
Well, you have to apply for our program at the beginning, and then if you are admitted, then they are going to guide you through the process of applying for a student visa. So the first step is applying and get an admission. So if you get an admission, there's definitely a procedure that you have to follow, but the international admissions office is going to take care of explaining what you have to do later on. So we are not experts in getting new study visas, but we do have students from all over the world every year. So we definitely have an international admissions office who knows how to do the job. So don't worry about that.
Okay, great. See the thumbs up. So that's hopefully answering the question. Question, let's see if my innocent was answered. Then we have another one from my Hinder. What are the requirements in the application deadline?
Which we already covered in the previous slide. So I'm gonna pull them up again, just to make sure that you guys have it. Anyways, everything that you see on this slide is going to be on the website as well. So save the international.unicat.it. Yeah, thank you very much, Luke. The pop-up that just got out of the bottom left of your screen, you are going to find out a lot of information about how to apply when. If it is not updated yet, it will be in a matter of like a week or two. So absolutely go have a look at it, study, and then if you don't find an answer, or if you have a particular situation that you have to talk to us about, then absolutely write us an email. It's international.inquiry@unicat.it. We are very happy to assist you and answer your questions. And regarding the website, as I said, it's going to be updated very soon. We also have a phone number that you can call. So if you have, if you feel like you need to ask us something particularly, particularly urgent or something that you need to discuss over the phone directly, we do also have a hotline, I would say, for international students.
Great, thank you. And yeah, somebody asked for the email as well.
Can I add? Sorry, I have to add one detail. I have because the link that was shared 1 minute ago is not the right one. It is another page. So I have put in the chat the right link. So please use the one that I posted a minute ago, because it's the one in which all the updates are published, and it is full in English, even though it is in the regular website of the university, which is, also for all the Italian taught programs. But over there you find all the information concerning the program. Of course, concerning the international applications, you have to go to the website of the international office that was shared by Julia a few minutes ago, right?
Okay, so now here's the link that you provided us. Also in the,
yes,
there's a notification there. So just to clarify that, thank you. Okay, and we're getting some other links for the international students.
Yes, so the international link is the one that just shared by Federica.
Yeah. So do check out the chat there as well. So a lot of ways to find more information and yeah, to get your questions answered. But of course, that's why this session is for as well. So if you have any questions still, you would like to know anything, then do let us know. We still have a couple of minutes left. And we have now the students with us and the professor. And actually, we did get a question, which is maybe good for the students, because Diana asked us, how about student clubs and student life? Can you say something about that, Paola?
Well, yeah,
yes.
Why not?
Yes. No, as I was saying, Cremona can be really quiet sometimes. I mean, it's not like Milan. It's a small town. It's quite quiet, but now we have Cattolica and some other university. So it's becoming more and more a university city. And I like staying here. I do like staying here, yes. I was saying the environment is dynamic. Yes.
Yeah, well, Paola also talked about all the activities that she does on a regular basis after the exams and everything. We also have international student services, but yeah, we also have associations. Actually, Cremona is very famous for music as well. So there's also an association for music, if I don't remember wrong. There's a lot of things you can do. And also, if you go to the international webpage that I mentioned before, international.unicat.it, there's going to be information on every campus and everything that goes on in every campus. So you are very welcome to go have a look at that as well. It's on the up left position of the website, Campus Life.
Okay, great. Thank you. And before we round off the session, there was actually another poll question that I provided for everyone, and we got some feedback. And the question was the information people were still looking for, and the winner of that was housing. So always an interesting question. How is housing in Cremona? How is that? Yeah, is it difficult to find a room or a place?
Well, it really depends. I would say that in general, it is easier than in other places in Italy, especially very big student towns like Milan and Rome tend to be really difficult. Cremona is it is a student town, but it's not big. It's not like the most, I would say, busy in terms of how many students go there each year. So it is definitely easier than in other cities. They also tended to be a little more, well, less expensive in general. And you can definitely find your own solution. But as we all say, we say it every time someone asks about housing. It really depends on what you expect, because the expectation really makes a difference. So if you want to find a nice apartment that you want to live on your own, very central and everything, it's going to be a very different thing from finding an apartment, I don't know, maybe renting a bedroom which is going to be shared with another student, maybe not that central. Also, Cremona is generally a small town, as Paola rightly pointed out. So even if it looks like it's far, it's not that far away. So I think you can definitely get good deals because of that. And also, Federica actually shared the student services and the Cremona support, Life in Cremona pages of our international website. So there's going to be some information on housing as well on there. So go ahead and look.
Perfect. Great. Okay, I think with that we can round off the session. So there are no more further questions, and that gives you a complete view of everything that we've discussed. So hopefully that answered your questions and also sparked your interest in this program. And yeah, thanks everyone for having joined. Of course, all the people that join in, the students, first of all, potentially joining this program even next year. We have people from different countries joining in, so that was great to see. And of course, thanks everyone, Professor Shokai, of course, thank you for your time. Paula as well, and Julia, thanks for your time and being here. And yeah, maybe, I don't know if Julia, you had a last sentence or so to wrap up the session.
No, I would say thank you for everyone who's been here and who stayed until the end. It's always a pleasure. And as I said, if you have any questions regarding anything, really, you can definitely email us or call us. But before doing that, there is plenty of information on our website as well. So go ahead and have a look at it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sit back, relax, the world is wide. Close your eyes, take a mental ride. Classrooms in Paris, libraries in Milan. Where do you want to stand when the day dawns? Yeah. Is it Dublin's green or Barcelona's sun? Pick your place, the journey's begun. The study of Porter, yeah. Dreaming, living anywhere. The study of